Welcome.
Welcome everyone. So, for those of you who don't know us, I'm Marisha, and my background is in international policy, primarily working with the United Nations and different international organizations, specifically on water resource management. And I'm also the author of children's book called My Globetrotter book series for children.
Yes, and I'm Liana, and now for nearly 4 decades, I've worked globally across wellness, healing, leadership, guiding people to elevate their well-being and to live more empowered lives. And since last year, alongside my dear friend and colleague Marisha, we co-host the Elevate Lifestyle podcast.
And we now are doing this Feel Well Atelier. So why are we doing this? Quite simply because we've learned a lot, Liana and I, and Diane, also who's here with us today. We've learned a lot about cellular health over the past couple of years, and it's had a very profound impact on our lives, those of our loved ones. And once you understand it and what we're going to be sharing today, it becomes something that you just simply can't ignore anymore. And we are just compelled to share it. So our intention today is simple. It's for you to walk away thinking, "Ah, I really, really needed to know this."
Yes, that's what motivates us.
So why are we here? Because many people are waking up in the morning thinking, I want to feel better, but I don't want to do this the same way again. It's not working. Life hasn't slowed down. And even with the good habits that we try to instill, the energy just doesn't keep up, does it? No matter the age. So that doesn't mean anything is wrong, as we've learned. It means that the body is just not getting the signals that it needs. Modern biology now shows us that health isn't about eliminating stress per se, it's about maintaining coherent cellular signaling.
Yes. So wellness has been my passion since my teen years. And over time, I think I've explored every approach possible. Well, I'm sure there's many others, but I've done many of them. Nutrition, supplements, detoxes, mindfulness, energy work, movement. I have delved into this world of wellness for these 4 decades, and I genuinely believed I understood the full landscape of what helps people feel well. Yet in 2020, something crossed my path that completely changed my view and my thinking about energy, vitality, and repair. And it wasn't something that you'd expect. It wasn't a supplement, it wasn't a new routine, it wasn't a treatment. It was something far more foundational. It was like that missing link that made everything I knew suddenly make sense. It was like someone had just switched the lights on. It was that light bulb moment that I had. I'm going, oh, now I get it. And we just want to be very clear that this isn't going to be another product, another modality, another routine. What we're bringing you, and this is what excites Marisha and I, and that inspires us to be here sharing with you today, is that we are bringing you a paradigm shift, a new way of understanding how to look after yourself. Something so simple, yet so powerful that can change everything.
And for me, it instantly connected dots that I didn't even actually realize were missing for health and well-being. The shift showed up as resilience. I could travel, work, raise my son, and my body kept up without that sense of depletion that can sneak in as we get older. And over the past few years, I'm even told that I look brighter a little bit. And so who knows? But I can tell you this, I certainly feel more vibrant and energized than I did 5 years ago.
Isn't that amazing? And for me, once I started, the shift wasn't dramatic. Just remember, I was in wellness for a long, long time. But what it did show up is was something that was steady and undeniable. So I started beginning to notice shifts like my sleep. I was sleeping way deeper. which is so crucial for well-being. My digestion felt lighter. My joints stopped screaming. That brain fog lifted. My mind just became more clear, more focused, and my energy stayed more stable throughout the whole day. Although I'm a very active person, I simply felt that I was more available for my own life. And what changed wasn't effort. What changed was efficiency. I was running at a better level. But this is our stories. Minor shifts on major things. But we have on the call today our dear friend and colleague, Diane. Diane, would you mind sharing your story with us? Well,
Sure. Well, first, good morning, everyone, and nice to meet Barbara. I haven't met you before, so nice to meet you on this call. And thank you, Liana and Marisha, for giving me this opportunity to share my testimonial. I'm very grateful for that. And my story actually begins when I was 10 years old. I developed a chronic autoimmune condition whereby my immune system was attacking melanocyte cells. So it was attacking my own cells, and melanocyte cells are the cells that produce melanin that then give your skin pigment. So the result of this is that I started to develop white patches on my skin on various parts of my body. And I was 10 at the time. And so you can imagine as a young girl and then going into my teenage years, this was very, very concerning. I was very self-conscious, very distressed. And my parents, although they took me to many dermatologists and we tried topical creams, oral medication, light treatment, nothing worked. And we were just simply told, well, there's nothing we can do. You just have to live with these white patches and wear sunscreen. So that was, something that I had to live with. And I just accepted the fact that there was no solution. And then about 4 years ago, a very good friend of mine introduced me to this amazing breakthrough in cellular health and technology. And it immediately piqued my interest because it was all about how our cells communicate and how can we help our cells to communicate better. And as I learned, these redox signaling molecules are what enable our cells to communicate better, empower our body to do what it's supposed to do naturally. And I thought, well, this is something I want to try because my body was misfiring. My signals were misfiring. My immune system and was attacking my own body. So I started drinking the redox signaling molecules and applying the Renew 28 gel all over my skin 3 times a day. And I was very consistent about this. And I didn't notice anything right away with regards to my skin. That took some time. But over a period of time and with consistency, I was truly amazed to start to see brown pigment coming back on those white patches. And I really couldn't believe it, actually, to be honest. And I thought, wow, I must be doing something for my body to be able to communicate better. And the fact that it's actually helping my skin was just what an incredible result. But not only that, the other most immediate results I had were, as Liana was saying earlier, probably for me, the biggest result I had was better sleep, almost immediately. And, during that period, my hormones were going up and down and all around. And it definitely, I feel it definitely stabilized that. With better sleep came more focus, more energy, more clarity, less anxiety, much more even keel. So truly for me, this has had a huge impact on my overall well-being, also on prevention for illnesses or health issues that we might face as we age, and just my commitment truly to living a longer, healthier life, for
Oh,
sure.
wow.
That's my story.
Thank you so much for sharing. And I can just imagine that moment where you noticed that something was changing, something that you'd most probably given up on, hadn't you?
For sure, for sure.
Fantastic. Thank you so much for sharing. And again, what we're noticing here is that it works on so many different levels, and how inspiring. Thank you so much, Diane.
Thank you,
Okay.
Thank
Diane.
you.
And yes, and we'll get back to some of the benefits a bit later down the line here. And so, but let's talk about the new paradigm
Yeah.
that I'm talking about here. In the old paradigm, in a nutshell, the one that we're all familiar with, the one that we were raised with, is that you add more things, you add nutrients, herbs, antioxidants, stimulants, whatever, you add more protocols, routines, practices, hoping that something might work. So we add the good things in. That's super valuable, of course. But adding is actually not the whole and full story. The new paradigm, the one that we're stepping into today, is actually entirely different. It's about enhancing what the body already does and strengthening the foundation so that everything else can just work the way it was meant to.
Exactly, because what we're talking about today does not add, as Marisha said, it's just getting those cells to communicate better. It's already happening in your cells. Are you curious about what this new paradigm is? So let's reveal it, shall we, Marisha? Here it is. It's taken us years to understand it, and now we are so eager to make it as simple as possible and deliver it to you. The field we're stepping into is called redox biochemistry, and as much as that name sounds scientific, the concept is surprisingly intuitive. So don't worry, we'll get it. We'll make simple analogies so you can get it. What matters the most is what's happening inside your body and why this communication piece matters so much.
So here's the core of everything. Your body is a communication network. Each of our roughly 37 trillion cells, they have to be able to detect, signal, repair, regenerate, so that we can think, move, digest, sleep, heal, and just feel well.
And yes, the modern science now confirms that everything your body does runs on a communication system. When that communication is clear, then you repair well. When it weakens through age, stress, toxins, lack of sleep, emotional strain, overload, that's when things start to feel off.
So here's the first of our analogies. Think of redox signaling like your body's Wi-Fi. When the signal is strong, everything connects, messages go through, things load, and you don't even think about it. But when the signal is weak, everything buffers, things freeze, you click, nothing happens. So when the connection drops, everything drops. And our body has the same version of that, it turns out. When the signaling is strong, systems coordinate beautifully. But when it weakens, things start to misfire, slow down, or simply not respond as they should. So you can think of it also this way. You can buy the best phone there is out there, but if the cell signal is weak, it won't work, will it?
No. So the bottom line is this: if your cells don't signal, little else matters. In redox biochemistry, cellular signaling isn't optional, it's foundational. Practitioners and scientists in this emerging field constantly observe that signaling governs how the body detects, repairs, regenerates, and responds. So this is the sentence we'd love you to walk away with, because it reflects just how essential these signaling molecules are for your well-being. But now let's talk about the repair system, shall we?
There we go. So most people for this will focus on nutrition, and rightly so. Nutrition provides the materials that we need. But at the foundational level, it works like this. Nutrition supplies the raw materials, but the redox signaling molecules will coordinate the work. So now imagine a construction site. All the materials are delivered, the bricks, the beams, the wiring, the glass, everything is on site and it's there. But there's no one directing what goes where, no foreman, no one assigning the tasks, no one activating the process. So then nothing happens, right? Nothing gets built. And this is the key. You can give your body all the blueberries, the vitamins, the supplements in the world, but without that clear signaling, those inputs cannot be activated, directed, or used. Hence, seen through this paradigm, health depends less on forcing something to happen and more on restoring the conditions that allow cells to adapt and self-regulate.
So does this missing link start to make sense to you? The link between the energy and vitality and the lack of it, the link between doing more but not seeing the results that you would like to see, the link between cellular signaling and how we age, the link between doing all the right things and still not feeling well. There was a missing link.
Right. And so, I mean, this is underpinned by all the science, of course, but let's explore it, and we'll just get to that in a minute. But let's explore together in a very practical way what this actually means for your body, your energy, and your everyday life.
Yes, because did you know that your body naturally produces trillions and trillions of these redox signaling molecules every second of every minute of every hour? That Wi-Fi system is fired up to keep you alive, but we hit our peak production around puberty, when you are at your best. And from there, the levels gradually decline with age. And what do we experience? Everything slows down. As you can see in those images, this weakening of communication is one of the scientific explanations behind the aging process. And here's how crucial they are. Did you know that if your body ever stopped producing these redox signaling molecules completely, you would not be here? Now, we believe that it's starting to make sense. So the question becomes, and here we get a bit of excitement, what if we could support and enhance that signaling again? What if we could enhance our own Wi-Fi system? This is where the paradigm shift becomes very real. What if a new technology has mimicked exactly these molecules that your body already makes? And what if we could safely and effectively enhance that signaling now?
And here's the great news. From just two simple ingredients, salt and water, through a patented electrochemical process, and it's protected by 7 patents and over 1,000 trade secrets at this point. A scientific team led by the atomic physicist Dr. Gary Samuelson succeeded in creating a stable, bioidentical form of the signaling molecules, the exact ones that our body already produces. So this is what the technology looks like in the blue bottle and those two tubes, as Diane was showing also a bit earlier. Please don't worry. At this point, there's nothing to decide. Just understand how the system works.
We are so happy that we could bring this information to you, because it might be the very first time that you're hearing about it, and you're going to be part of the 1% in the world that knows about it. So what's also very important, and we want to underline this, is that in our human mind, we normally compare things. So we're going, okay, so what are we talking about? It looks like a bottle. Is it a supplement? Is it something? This is a whole new category. So this is not a drug. It's not a stimulant. It's not a vitamin or a herbal supplement. What is in that blue bottle and that white tube and partially in that blue tube is bioidentical to what your body makes. It's therefore non-toxic, 100% safe. You can't overdose. You can't be allergic to it. Why? Because your body recognizes it as its own. This technology has been on the market for more than 15 years now, and it's distributed in 35 countries, and every batch is verified by independent laboratories before it reaches us.
And there are two simple ways that this technology is used. So depending on what one wants to support. Before we explain it, here's a way to think of this. If your phone, the phone analogy again, if your phone stops working properly, you don't throw it away, you don't start frantically trying to replace all the apps. The odds are you're going to try first to recharge the battery. So this is a similar principle, and it takes place at the heart of your cells, at the mitochondria level. These are the two delivery systems. First, there is an internal form, often referred to as the redox liquid, and that's in that blue bottle. And it's used for systemic support, the whole body. We drink it. And then people will use it to support things like energy, recovery, sleep quality, mental quality, clarity, and overall resilience across the whole body. Second, there is the topical form in those two tubes. So we apply those gels on our skin, and we use it on locally, just for the skin issues, or locally on areas of the body that need extra support, organs or tissues within. So that's the same technology and two delivery systems. One is systemic, the bottle to drink, and one is targeted.
Exactly. So this isn't about adding something foreign. It's about topping up that signaling that your body already relies on, both internally and externally. And of course, for compliance reasons, we need to state that ASEA, which is the company's name, all these products or this technology are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease, and results do vary. What we can say is that it's enhancing your body's capability to create that repair.
So in terms of the science, this is backed by real biochemistry. And for those of you who want to know more about the science, we are happy to send you all of the information and studies that we have. The redox signaling as a scientific field has been studied for decades, actually. And there are thousands of peer-reviewed papers exploring how cells communicate, respond to stress, and maintain balance. What ASEA, this company, has done is develop a technology, and it's the only one out there in the world, is to develop a technology that intersects with the established science. So this is not hype, it is biochemistry with validated scientific foundations. And this slide actually shows you some of the independent research labs and scientific publications that are contributing to this growing field of redox biology. And this is the broader science that underpins everything that we are talking about today.
We
Right,
love
Leanne?
diving, yes.
Yeah.
We love diving into the science of it and
Yeah.
learning more and having that validation. But at the end of the day, as humans, again, the first thing that comes to my mind and to our mind is how's it going to help me? Is this for me? Or is this for a loved one? And actually, what is it doing for me? Or do I need it, right? So what we're going to dive into are the results, what people are sharing. As we've mentioned already, you've heard Diane's beautiful story, both as energy, vitality, resilience, but also for something that she was struggling with for all that time. We've got our own stories, and we've got hundreds of those stories, don't we, Marisha?
Yes.
We would love to share them all, but there are many, and we can direct you to sites where you can learn about these amazing stories. But what we hear mainly from people is that they talk about, again, sleep, more clarity, energy feels consistent, steadier, greater resilience, and quicker bounce back after activity. Mood feels balanced. That sentence that we hear most often is, oh, I just feel more like myself again. I'm feeling empowered. I feel like I've got my life back. And that is so rewarding.
And look at these pictures, because pictures do speak 1,000 words. So look at the improvements on the left-hand strip of these pictures. People's good looks, the blotchy skin issues, the redness, the scars, the sagging, the aging. And of course, we had Diane speak about her pigmentation issues that are just so, that testimonial, Diane, was just remarkable. Thank you. And the skin is the largest organ. So we cannot see what's happening inside when we are taking these redox molecules, but we can see the before and after on the skin. But we can't see it on the spleen, the bladder, the lungs, the intestine. And so it is easier to see it on the skin. So just imagine if this level of coordination that we're seeing on these pictures and benefits, if that can be reflected on the outside, what may be supported internally? Think of your hormones, your cardiovascular system, your respiratory, your immune system, your skeletal, your nervous system, and digestive systems. All of them, all of our organs and tissues, everything going on inside, it all relies on this cellular communication. So
Absolutely.
now you get an idea of what this might do for you, right, Liana?
Yes, and we love hearing all the different ways that this has an impact on others. But there's another important topic, inflammation. Who doesn't have or experience in their life, if not their daily life, some form of inflammation and discomfort? And so we know that seeing is believing again. What we're looking at here is thermographic images taken before and after applying the blue topical version that we have. This is called Redox Gold. The red and the pink that you see on the top layers indicate heat and inflammation in the body, which are often linked to discomfort and stress. After 15 minutes of applying the Redox Gold, you can see those areas cooling down, turning blue and green, showing that rapid reduction in inflammation and discomfort. And this is the proof that Redox Gold isn't just about masking the discomfort, but also supporting the real recovery at that cellular level. And I do want to stress on this is that think of it as a product that has no toxicity. Think of that for a moment, that relief and ease within minutes in a non-invasive, with no side effects, zero toxicity. Think of muscle discomfort, screaming joints. Simply extraordinary, isn't it?
Right. And also transparent to other medicines or whatever other treatments you be. There is no interaction since it is native to the cells, right, Liana? And here's another question that we get asked all the time, and I'm sure by this point, this is your main question. So if this is so incredible, why haven't I heard of this before? It's a fair question. We've asked it to all of us who've started on this journey. And the reason is simple. It is a category creating technology. Even within the FDA, it has its own category. And it doesn't fit in any existing category because it's not a drug. It's not a supplement. It's simply spread through word of mouth, and it's spread through people, not ads. And this actually was a very deliberate choice of our company that this company made 17 years ago to bring it to market so that people could benefit from it while the science was catching up. And that's why today may actually be your first introduction.
Yes. And there's one unexpected joy of this work, and that's been the community that's formed around it. Today, it's a global network of people who genuinely care about feeling well, are proactive with their health, and they are supporting others to do the same. So we see it time and time again. People arrive curious about the benefits of the technology. I think it's a bit of all of us, or the three of us at least, Marisha and Diane and I, and they stay because of the community, and then they are driven from the heart to go, oh, I've got someone I need to share it with. So there's a real connection, and we truly enjoy being together. I think there you are, Diane, in that photo at the top. We are in Kuala Lumpur there. That was a lovely time of meeting together, but we've had multiple opportunities of staying together, because how good is it to be surrounded by a community that is proactive and want to feel well?
So, what's next? For those who are eager to start their Feel Well journey with this Redux technology and experience it, simply reach out to whoever invited you to this call, this atelier, and you can get started today. It's simple and easy, just a click, buy it wholesale with a 30-day money-back guarantee. You receive it at your doorstep in the markets where it's distributed, and be part of our community.
Yes, or if this feels so aligned, or you are very curious and you want to know more about it, that you're already starting to think of someone who needs it and you'd like to share it with your loved ones or in your practice, then we invite you to stay on a bit longer to explore the business and income opportunity that this technology has opened up. Because as you've heard, it is a word of mouth. So in a few moments, we will share with you a simple and easy way to get your product paid for or generate that extra income stream. Because. What if health and wealth weren't separate?
Yes. And what if they actually could support each other? What if your wellness could support your income? What if your ASEA products could pay for themselves, as Liana mentioned? And what if you could build something ethical and long-term alongside your health, like we're doing? And what if you didn't have to choose between health and wealth? So if you're interested, just stay on another few minutes and we'll go through some of the main reasons why this business opportunity could also be for you. And we'll also take questions in the second part.
Yes. So this is going to take us like 5 minutes, 10 max. So let's run through. And for those that are looking, if this is what you're not looking into the wealth side of it for now, you just want to experience it, then we just say thank you for joining, and we look forward to staying connected and having more conversations here with the Feel Well Atelier. See you in the future episode. For the others, let's go and explore 9 reasons why Marisha and I personally chose to stay alongside this company.
So, reason number one, the mega trends. So, when we zoom out and look at what's really on a lot of people's minds these days, what keeps them awake at 3 a.m., there are 2 pressures that rise above the rest. And these are no surprise to any of us. The first is health. People are tired, overstimulated, perhaps inflamed, and noticing that their bodies just aren't keeping pace with their daily lives. The second is the financial stress. People want the flexibility, meaning, and of course, security without sacrificing their well-being to earn it. We're all seeing this. It's no surprise. But the real question becomes, is there a model that genuinely supports both without the compromise?
And this is it. So the second reason, because people choose, is that ASEA has created an entirely new category. These are bioidentical redox signaling molecules, something that had never been stabilized or manufactured at scale before. Backed by 7 patents and over 1,000 trade secrets, this technology isn't a variation of something that exists already. It's a category creating science. And the market's response speaks for itself because of tens of millions of products in use worldwide, which leads to a simple reality. Think of this from the business perspective. There is no equivalent. There is no competition. Isn't that extraordinary?
Incredible. And so reason number 3 is that this is a company that's built to last. ASEA owns one of the first and still one of the only dedicated redox science laboratories in the world. So that means that the science is not outsourced. Their innovation is not rented. They do it in-house. So the future is not dependent on third parties. And so with these foundations, it is a company that is built to last.
And expand, absolutely. And this is the fourth reason why we looked into it, or two, is just the target market. Very few technologies are relevant across so many areas of life. So now think of health and well-being, longevity and aging, performance and recovery for athletes. Think of beauty and skin health. Think of a business and income model. So it's for everyone. It works on everyone and everything, from babies to grandparents, from athletes to beauty. So rather than asking, who's this for? We start thinking in a different way. The accurate question is, who wouldn't benefit from it? I've got everyone to share it with.
Correct. And there's so much need out there. And that brings us to the fifth reason, which is ethos, integrity, and stability. And this actually matters more than most people realize, although perhaps in this day and age, it's ASEA is debt-free, family-owned, and remains founder-controlled. And that structure allows decisions to be made for long-term stability, not short-term hype, not external pressure. So there's no debt driving urgency and no incentive to compromise integrity for growth in this company. And in these uncertain times, that kind of stability really matters. Because when ethos and integrity live at the top, especially at a company, then trust is created at every level. So we also want to make another point here. Both Liana and I have met the company's senior leadership and management many times over. And I can really sit here and vouch for just how remarkable this company is and its people are. Right, Liana?
Absolutely. And this brings us to the reason number 6. It's the business model. So now what stands out for us, especially in these times, and again, is that this business model, how much choice it gives people. So there's no inventory pressure. There's low upfront investment, no forced selling, no obligation to perform in any way. People can engage with it in different ways at their own time and their own pace. Like you can, as customers, for example, or casual sharers, or just to get the product paid for, or as more strategic builders. That flexibility matters a lot because choices do create safety, and safety is what allows people to stay.
So, reason number 7. Now, let's talk about something business owners can all relate to, and that's scalability without burning out. So, sustainable businesses actually, hopefully, shouldn't exhaust the people building them, right? But here, the heavy lifting in this company is already handled for us, who chose this business. The manufacturing is handled, the distribution is handled, and the compliance and payments are all built into the system. That means that our role, Liana and I, for instance, is to stay focused on the human, on the connection, the education, and the leadership. We have no worries about logistics. We're not concerned about operations, and we're not carrying the weight alone. That's all handled for us. And that is what allows growth to be sustainable, not just scalable.
Yeah, that is so important. And reason number 8 is, again, this community that we are part of is a strategic asset, not just a social one. So yes, we do enjoy staying together, but it has strategy and system in it. So it aligns with our values. It's collaborative as we work in teams. There's great mentorship and leadership already developed and built in, and it's all for free. We have it in place, simple and easy systems for business growth, so people aren't left to figure it out on their own. We love growing together.
And this brings us to our last reason for today, reason number 9, and that's the global reach that we have from the comfort of our own home. ASEA operates with global infrastructure that's already in place. The company is active in 35 countries and growing. with fully regulated commerce, cross-border capability in some of the key growth markets, and multilingual support that's built into the platform. So the company really is built for international growth. And with an upgraded compensation plan that just rolled out last week, SCA is entering a very exciting next chapter. And it's doing so from a position of stability, strength, and it's modern and contemporary. It's really exciting.
Yeah,
Liana and I are really
absolutely.
excited.
So at this point, a very natural question comes, who is this actually for? And you might be asking, is this for me? And the answer is refreshingly simple. It's for you if you want your products paid for. It could also be for you if you would like having that extra $500 or $1,000 coming in on the side every month as a side hustle. It's also for you if you're looking for a home or a career or a place to build a long-term business and a long-term residual income. The word residual is very, very important when we speak about residual. It's not this place and time to talk about it here, but if you are a bit involved in business, you know how important that is. But the main part is that whatever answer comes along, what we've noticed that who's called to this is there's a common thread. It's people that value health, integrity, and community and genuinely care to be a force of good in the world. And so that is simply, is it for you or not? And again, no pressure. It's just a conversation.
And this brings us to the end. Thank you for choosing to spend a portion of your evening with us tonight or your day. And thank you for making Feel Well a priority for you. Thank you for your openness, your curiosity, and your presence in this space. We're happy to stay on, Liana and I, and maybe even Diane, for another few minutes. If in case you have any questions, we're here for you.
Exactly. And if you can't stay on a little bit longer, please go back to the person that's invited you here and get those questions answered.